Well, let's go ahead and do this. Grim,
Jesus
do you
Christ.
have
Recording.
Mr. Grimgar Morgoth? Can you go ahead
no.
and roll me a D100?
Oh,
We're gonna get
shoot. I need
right
to
into
get my
this.
dice out for this. I forgot
Yes,
about
you
that little
do.
detail.
Did you know we're playing D&D?
I thought this was all
What?
role play. I was just prepared to talk for 3 hours.
Hey, that would be awesome too.
That happened to me before.
Gonna roll
That
all
happens
of
to me
them.
on most of my Thursdays.
There it is. We got a 75.
75. Why does that sound familiar? I'm a little worried. That sounds too familiar for my
Because it's a nice round number that you hit with 3/4.
Well, my worry is that my roll 20 is just straight up not loading, which has, I was hoping by the time the number came, I could, look it up, but no. All right. Well, 75. Come on.
What would your
little
character do with 3/4?
3/4 of what? Just 3/4.
3/4. Just 3/4.
What would you do with 3/4? I would buy 3 gumballs.
I would eat.
Hold on, gumballs are
I
still
would
25
eat
cents
two-
each?
I would eat 2/4 of the goat and then save the rest.
That is a lot. That is a lot. Oh man. Why is this it's just not loading for me, so I don't have the information. This is not okay. All right. Well, you know what? Here's what's gonna happen.
You can roll the d20 and see who recaps first, I guess.
75. I found a different one. So here what? Ooh. 75. If your character had the chance to give the party a name, no questions asked, what would it be? Take a moment to think about that. I like that. Very good. All right. Esben.
Well, obviously it would have to be Esben and Company.
You know what? That's quite fitting. I like that. I like that a lot. All right. Well, after Esben would be Grim. What would Grim name the party, if possible?
You might need to come back to me.
Yeah, no worries. What about you, Kia? You got something in mind?
Give me a second. I need like 10 more seconds brain power to think.
Yeah,
No,
this one's a little bit harder for
It is.
a lot of
This
reasons.
requires a lot of brain power. Do you have one there, dear Volker?
I don't remember the name of the dungeon on the...
The Dungeon of the Mad Mage?
The Underdeep?
The Undermountain.
Nathan, while he thinks, I got it.
Okay, good. Let's go.
Troll Skull Brewing Co.
Yes. Troll Skull Brewing Co. You guys could just...
Or maybe it would be Troll Skull Brewing and Co.
There you go. What's funny is today we went to a winery and distillery. It was so good, man. It is. Those are great to visit if you ever get to. That's like fantastic.
Wineries aren't a really big thing up here. I just don't know why, but you know.
I've got an idea.
Let's try growing grapes in Alaska.
Yeah, let's try. Oh, they got a few leaves. Oh,
We do have a couple meaderies, though.
Meaderies?
Yes.
Mead is so good.
It can be. It can be a little bit hit or miss, but it can be.
I've had the good stuff. That's true. Although I was just looking for... Oh, wait. I'm beside the point. All right. Yeah.
Quick, while the DM's distracted, do whatever you guys want.
That's right. Kia, what do you? What,
I cast
10
bank
seconds of
robbery.
brain power.
I'm trying to think of puns.
I'll give you some
Oh,
more
you're
time.
going that route. Okay.
Volker,
I'm trying.
Volker.
I'm trying so hard right now.
You got one yet, Volker?
It's definitely a hard one to come out to on the fly.
Yeah, for sure.
That is not a jokey one.
That is true. That is very true. I'm trying to think of what, like, if with everything that I recall, what troll skull? Like, you guys have really with the troll skull that you guys got. That one comes to my mind with just like it'd have to be something along the lines of like the uh, maybe that or troll skull crew. No, I've never been good at names.
Names are very hard.
Funny enough, like in all the games of D&D I've played, I've never been in a party that named like we had a party name or anything. And then like it's only after the fact that I've had like other players, even like games I've ran and played in. And after the fact, one of the players was like, wonder what we'd call our party name. Oh, that's a good question. The closest we got was a game I ran, the Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus. And when they were still in Baldur's Gate, they had this idea that they were going to open a bakery or some sort of eatery, and they were going to call themselves Hell's Kitchen. But then they didn't. So it was
I like that
though. Yeah, it was a fun group. Didn't help that half the group left, but that's okay.
Such a life sometimes.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was a college students, so they have to go back home.
There's not much you can do about that.
Nope.
No, my thought wasn't very good. I just had the idea if we could call ourselves trolling around. I couldn't think of any if with ins.
Trolling around. Hey, that's good. The trollers. Oh, that is a difficult one. It's got so much potential. Yes.
I would say the I had one up. I lost the word. 1 second. Let me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the opportunistic band.
The opportunistic band.
Yeah, we are all here through this chance of owning an establishment, and we're utilizing it. This opportunity for our own, what's the word? Benefits.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. I like that a lot. Okay, well, thank you very much. Let's get real quick. Everybody roll D20, and let's get that recap refreshed about what happened last time.
Oh my god, double digits!
Wow! Double digits today.
Look at that. That bodes well for you guys.
That's my only good roll tonight right there.
Watch it, Flippy. You're still going to be the
Makes it 4 times in a row, 5 times in a row?
Hey, that's a lot of inspiration for you.
Oh
no!
Alrighty. Well, do you have your notes ready, Kia?
Give me like 1 second.
Yes.
I'm thorough when I had to recap.
You do great. I just funded you
for sure.
beforehand because you roll low. That's why.
No. And that's just fire by the hip. I don't read the notes that I have. I want to
That's even better.
challenge
It
my
didn't
noggins.
help. Yeah, it surely didn't help that we talked about it that day to clarify for both of us.
Last week.
Yeah,
Because it
and
was
you
a
didn't-
very eventful one.
Yeah, and it's not like the week after that you did it. It was, I believe that was. Oh my god, I'm pretty sure it was Storak, wasn't it? 'Cause he was like super tired that prior game, and then you could barely come up with anything.
I don't know.
Okay, so I found the notes. Last week there was an explosion, or the aftermath of the explosion. Now I remember where we started.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And lots of people. There were no survivors really at all of the injured. We kind of did some investigating. Different party members went out and found different things. I came across it was one of the halflings behind a barrel who kind of had hidden himself back there and found
It was a necklace. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
1 second.
No worries.
Okay. Oh, it had fallen off the top of a building, and I think it was on the top of the building they had seen there was it the
Puppet with no strings, basically.
yeah, it was the automaton.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, we learned later that it was, I was like trying to remember the word, the automaton. Let's see, the city guard arrives, and you have to put the pressure back on afterwards after you release it so it finishes. Sorry, they're trying to make espresso behind me. I just don't want a disaster to happen.
That's fair.
Let's see. Holy cow. No, release the pressure so it doesn't scream. There we go.
I can hear the whistling.
I am so sorry.
fine.
No worries. I love
It's
this.
screaming.
Everything starts happening as soon as I play D&D. The guards show up. I'm trying to get my train of thought back, and they kind of take over the questioning, court it off. I think later it comes out that our magic users in the party aren't found to be involved or guilty. We're free to leave after the investigation wraps up, and we head to the House of Inspired Hands, right? Where the automatons are made. And we talked to Nim, who was the automaton locked up in the room. He made another automaton like himself, which ran away, and he knows that might be the automaton that's guilty or potentially the one involved in this explosion or aftermath. He gives us a device to find the automaton. He's punished for his actions, so like this whole room is cleared out. But I believe we hang on to the device.
Yep.
Okay, and then he asks us to save the other automaton instead of destroying him. And so that's, I believe, where we left off. And I remember there was something to do with Griffin Riders and Grimm. There we go. Sorry, that took a few minutes.
Hey, that's
good.
fine. Hey, you
That
got the
was good.
recap. Inspiration for you. All right, so a little bit of what we have going forward is, yes, you brought up the Griffin Rider with Grimm. Is you guys, you have the device that can detect automatons that are not Nim. Turns out Nim can't actually leave the premises of the House of Inspired Hands. You are offered a reward for tracking down the wayward Nimblewright, and the House of Inspired Hands will pay you 500 gold pieces to destroy it. If you return with proof of its destruction, they will provide that reward to you. And so you came up with a couple of ideas of what to do. For Grim, he remembered that, through the Order of the Gauntlet, he has some connections. And specifically, I'll give you this information. Grim, specifically, is your contact. Contact being Savra Bellabranta. That would be the person that you would talk to for potentially getting the help of a Griffin Rider. As for that was the Griffin Rider deal. I know Henzim was going to go talk to his parents for a different tool, but he's not here today. That's okay. And Volker, you were going to be looking into the jeweler's tools proficiency thing for some reason that I, don't know why, but I hope that rings a bell for you.
I'm doing this before we take a long rest, anyways.
Sounds good. So that'll be before you take a long rest.
Yeah, I'm trying to appraise the gems that I got.
Can you give me that name in chat? Because I can't spell word beans.
Absolutely. Let's get that name for you. Savra Bellabranta. I'm gonna go here. Hey, 'cause it's a lot of stuff. What the heck? Whatever. Copy.
People when they see my alcohol cabinet.
That's a lot of stuff.
It's a lot of stuff.
It's in chat. In your chat. There you go. Yeah. There you go. Excellent. And one thing that I guess as you guys are figuring this out, I'll give you a quick rundown of each of your guys' positions here in the city, which obviously you are small fry at this point, but you have been making a little bit of a name for yourself. So Espen, you have been around. You've been playing music. You've taken several downtimes to go out and play music and to interact. And so among the tavern crowds and the musical folks here, your name, you would be recognized. You would be recognized to have pretty stellar music because, frankly, a silver dragonborn bard, that is someone that sticks out in your mind. There's not a lot of silver dragonborn bards out there. Yeah, you have been taking downtime practicing your position as you follow this way of mercy, as you follow this monk's path. You are taking into your hands the basically good and evil. You are becoming the judge of people, and so you've been spending time around the streets, providing help and providing and I know we've only played through the help part so far, and I know you want to explore more, but your mask, your cloak, there is now people recognize you and recognize that, hey, this person, it's not as iconic as Batman, but that's the masked helper, and perhaps the more you do it, the more of a name that you'll make. Grim,
Shit.
Batman
is canon in this world.
Grim, you, sir, among the gauntlet, you have, as Flippy so fondly puts it, you are grinding the reputation of the Order of the Gauntlet.
Grinding my standing?
You're grinding your standing. You, sir, among the legality, among the city watch, among the order, you are dependable. You are recognized. You have rank. You have some weight behind your word. And so even though maybe the general layman won't necessarily recognize you, you have your own level of confidence that you could probably bully your way into places with just your badge and whatever. And for you, Volker, you, sir, being a farm, a halfling from the farm, charming. You have been charming your way into people, despite the fact that I don't know what your charisma score is, but the fact that you're a farming
Baby.
halfling, and the fact that you can somewhat see the future, it might freak some people out if they notice, but at the same time, standing in and around, you have been getting to know your neighbors. Like, you, out of everybody, has in the neighborhood, you've made yourself known, and you're doing great. So that's where
Plays
you
a
guys.
D&D campaign so he can just be Mr. Rogers.
You're Mr. Rogers. No, you
I
guys
don't
are
know who that
doing.
is.
Oh, that's awesome. That's a great token there, Kia.
I know who Mr. Roger is.
Is forced to farm rep. Oh, we're gonna have to send you some
It's an
photos.
American thing.
It is American. He's
I know
great.
that guy. He looks polite. He sounds polite all the time.
He is. All right. So now that's where we're at. And you guys are stepping out of the House of Inspired Hands. Henzim just walks towards his parents' house and says, I'm going to go check something out. And so Henzim is not going to be along with you guys for now. It is evening time, and yeah, let's figure something out. What do you guys want to do?
So, what is everyone's plan for tomorrow? As it is, we don't really have to dedicate our time for this crime that happened, now that we're cleared. I am somewhat obligated to serve, given the circumstances that it happened within our doorstep. But he looks at the three of them. Actually, no. I would assume that Grim would be also being part of the gauntlet, be somewhat, like, not obligated, but like encouraged to. He's gonna look at the other two. What is your gain from further investigating this crime?
You're asking me what my gain would be?
He's asking, obviously, not the dealing with Ton and the other friendly little robot. It's more about, like, what is there for you all in terms of the fireball and the that half of it.
Well, for one, I don't need stuff like that happening on a constant basis around our place. But two, the way they talked about me always seemed like they didn't really care too much about who I was. I'm going to get to the bottom of this one way or another. You better believe it.
Ah, spite. That's a great incentive.
Call it what you will. What matters is it gets done. I don't trust these people anyway to get anything done in front of their face.
It is a big city, after all.
Well, I mean, they didn't get rid of the murderer either that was killing a bunch of elves.
I wonder what they actually did with that person. For all we know, the guards were saying they would probably speak to us after they've done the sorting the drow. Yet nothing had happened. I hope they put him behind bars.
Well, either way, I'm not waiting. I'm going to be looking into this myself.
He looks at Kia, waiting for her answer.
Do what I'm doing, or sorry, I think there's 2 questions.
I kinda did ask 2 questions, but he was like, "Yeah, what are we planning on doing, and why are you like, why are you putting, like, what is your incentive? What is your motives?" Sven is spite and I guess self-fulfillment. He wants to achieve it. What is Kia's?
Overall, or sorry, I must have missed that first part then. For the motive.
For the murder investigation that we are doing.
Oh, that thing. Okay, yeah, I thought so. Just I want to see justice. I want to see the wrong being righted, no matter how it would be righted. But she wants to kind of seek out payment for those whose lives were lost.
That's very noble.
I want to know why it happened. It seems odd that it would just be a spontaneous act of violence. I feel like there should be something more behind it. Additionally, I don't like Nim's situation. There's something wrong about him being locked up. He seems to me that he is in fact a fully sentient being. And imprisoning him against his will with no reasoning seems unjust.
Kia nods and agrees. With this sentiment, I didn't think robotic things could have sentience or a consciousness, but I do agree with Grim here that locking this Nim up is quite against his rights.
Well, it'll probably take a lot of convincing for them to see your ways. For all they see, it is part of their property, and they'll treat it as such. Though I'm certain if we manage to bring evidence of the dispatch of this other automaton, that maybe they'll be more lenient to hear your pleas. I think it could be done, but what are you... where could it go? They're not like... not everybody's... how do I say this? It's not like you can see automatons all the time. It's mostly reserved for that event. Where would he live if it's not inside of the temple? Much more like a tower, right, Blur? Forgot what it was.
Like it is half temple, half workshop. So, he lives in the attic. So definitely the top floor of it. Think almost like the Hunchback Notre Dame, whatever his name is. Think almost like that.
Oh,
Rude.
yeah.
see. Um,
I mean, and let's not forget about the person that attacked us when we tried to get here, too. With the mechanical bird.
if things seems to be the way they are, that should have been done, I think.
I forget, did it look like a person or did it look like an automaton?
No, so it
Looks
did.
like an automaton.
When you brought up the bird, it was indicated that it was Nim, and that's why you guys headed upstairs. And Nim was very apologetic, and said accident with the bird.
Oh, okay, I
Oh,
misunderstood.
I thought it was done. Misunderstood.
Yep, I'm glad we clarified.
Okay, never mind then.
Never mind then.
I retract that statement.
Bucket of trash, Nim.
Well, more along the lines of there was confusion. I thought there was another third party like trying to stop us from even getting a Nim in the first place.
Oh yeah, no. Thankfully, it's not that convoluted.
So we were talking. Well, I assume we're walking back towards Trollskull Manor, right?
I would assume so.
Yeah.
Unless there's anywhere where anybody else wants to go.
Not at the moment.
I'd also assume it's sometime in the evening now. I remember the sun going down like when we got to the temple.
Yes.
Is Espen still shit-faced?
Oh, probably.
Yes.
Excellent.
Quite not sober. Okay. So we can just say that you guys head back to the Troskal Manor and spend the evening. The crime scene is mostly cleaned up, but there's still the obvious amounts of charred masonry and wood, but the bodies have been transported to most likely, Grim, you would know that the local town guard station, they would take the bodies with gentle repose up on them and hold them there until they are released to either the graveyard, their families, wherever they need to be released.
Excellent.
Good to know.
One second. Let me Google something real quick so I see
Okay.
it. What spell is this? Damn. Okay. I would say sometime later. Are we all planning on staying within the inn?
I mean, it's a little late to be doing anything.
Hey, who knows?
Well, how late is it when we get back to the manor?
This is the House of Inspired Hands is only about, I'd say, a 30-minute, 45-minute
It is
walk
in
from
the
you
dock
guys.
ward, right?
Was it in the Dark Ward? I thought it was in the Sea Ward.
Is it dock or sea ward the same?
Sea Ward. The Dock Ward is very different from the Sea Ward. Sea Ward is north.
Oh no,
So-
yeah, no, my bad. Yeah, the other one is
yeah,
south.
no worries. Yep. So it would be evening time. The sun has set, but it's not so late that you don't have. It's not like you need to immediately go to bed. But yeah, that's that. We can move on with the story if that is all you want. But I know, Volker, you sir wanted to accomplish something before night.
Sir,
This
I would be interested during the time that we, I would like to go to my room and Well, once I pack down my stuff, I would be interested in casting the spell Borrow Knowledge to gain proficiency in jewelry crafting, so I can appraise the gemstones
Okay,
that I got from Mr. Gnome.
Mr. Dead Gnome. Absolutely. When you call upon the knowledge of an old dwarf craftsman to give you the expertise you need, you appraise these gems. I don't know if there's a check, but right now,
As it is, the Senator says that I can, at a glance, appraise them. So I don't think there's a
good.
check.
In that case, each of the gems costs approximately 100 gold pieces.
Oh my god! That's 500 dragons! Holy
Yes.
shit!
500 dragons worth of gems in that pouch.
What the fuck was this gnome doing? Oh my god, okay. I will have to either make it into amulets to further increase the value, or just sell them straight. I'll see. I'll see how it is. But then again, it took me like a week to make a necklace, so I don't know if I have all the time to make 500 be more than 500. Oh well. That is my interest for that. I spent my second level spell slot. Good. I would say that, unless anybody wants to do something else, once we are all, like having dinner together before leaving, well, for our own, sleeping and meditating, needs. Volker is just going to look a little absent-minded for a moment too. He seems like he's like thinking, and it's like, oh, yeah, and then he's going to, pull down to his sleeve, grab onto the ring that he was given by Grim, and pass it back to him. Thank you for letting me borrow your ring. I am glad that I did not have to utilize it. You can have it back now. Mr. Grim.
Can you hear? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
We can hear you now.
I'll thank him and I'll take the ring, and later I will reattune to it.
Hell yeah.
As you guys are seated in the bar room, one of the young halflings who you guys have hired, who's helping serve the drinks and whatnot, steps up to you guys and brings little small glasses of what looks to be just a pale ale. Hands it to each one of you as she leans in. The one that you're talking to is named Danica, and you would know her as Kelso's younger sister, but she kind of leans in and whispers, "So, did you know that this place might be haunted?"
Oh, that's very attentive of you. I guess we didn't have the chance to mention it to you. He's gonna side-eye Sven, and then look back at her.
Esben probably isn't there. I'm gonna. It depends on before we continue on. Was Fern's brew open as we got back?
Yes.
Okay, he's gonna be having gone there, but we'll finish with this scene first. But Esben's not there at this time.
Okay,
Gotcha.
then I'm not side-eyeing him. Very attentive of you. Much more than our friend. Oh, he's here. I think we have not had the chance to mention it to you, but the previous owner, I forgot his name. It's Liv, right?
Yeah. Yep.
The
you're right.
previous owner, their name was Liv. They still reside within this tavern. They are harmless as far as I know. So I should probably introduce you all to him. Even as it is, you two are co-workers.
So, what you're saying is, we're working in an inn that's got literal ghosts that are just hanging around, and it's the guy who used to own the place. I mean, like, I saw some floating towels and a candle. I think that's why I was bringing this up.
Oh yeah, he's just cleaning the cobwebs and yeah, he sometimes brings us drinks.
No way.
Kinda helpful, yeah.
You pay him?
I think they are simply content with the fact that we're trying to, we brought this establishment back from the ruins.
I see. Huh. Well, ain't that some? Well, I'll try not to shoot it off next time then.
Well, I don't think they'll mind if you did that, but, well, now you know.
Now we know.
That being said, the next chance I see a sign of Liv, I would like to cast See Invisibility.
Okay.
Let me ping the spell for you.
Oh yeah, this is where you can actually see things in the ethereal or whatever.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Federation, you see creatures not that have the invisible conditions as if they're visible. You see until the ethereal plane. Okay. So as you cast this spell, all around you, the tables, there's Grim and Kia, they all go this ghostly pale white. You can see the tips of their extremities beginning to curl into the mist, not losing any, but become incredibly ethereal and almost as if you have half stepped into the ethereal plane. And as you look around, you take note of all the regular folks that you know about. You see the halflings, and you see a couple of folks who are trying out the new tavern in town. But then you see one figure that you haven't seen before. Most of his body is missing. You can see the front parts of his thighs and his calves and the tips of his boots, as if the most of his legs had just simply deteriorated and gone away. You can see a put together torso with a vest and a coat. Some of the buttons are missing, but they're still together. Perhaps those had disintegrated as well. And a clearly elven-shaped face. No eyes. His ears, the tips of them have completely deteriorated away, and you can see part of his hair, which is neatly combed to the side with one loose strand, as he glides around the place, looking at the different occupants of the inn. You can see him watch as one of the halflings walks by with a tray of drinks, just curiously watch. His arms are folded behind his back as if almost in a butler-like fashion, as you see the former owner of this place lift.
Kinda probably gonna be hard to, read this, but given that his body is, would I know the reason why, undead deteriorate in that fashion? Is it like because of their coil, weakening over time, or what would be like the reason? I guess I should roll like something, but is there a way to?
I would say that, considering that you. I know that you're going to roll high if you roll an Arcana, so go ahead and roll an Arcana. Let's see if you would know the reason for this.
Right, let me total normal.
Good catch.
10.
Yep. For the undead, for spirits bound upon this plane, there are various reasons. It could be that their body had deteriorated to that point, or it could be, yes, just the soul's connection to this plane is tentative. It could be that perhaps it was losing its tether here, and most of its body were away. However, it doesn't seem to affect its mind until. Most of it's aesthetic.
Do they look like they are in pain or like winced or like it's kind of hard without eyeballs, to read somebody, but
you can't read its face.
I will simply wait until we quote unquote lock eyes. As in he's, facing me, and I will wave at him. Like a hello, I can see you.
After a few minutes, he does look at you. You wave at him, and you see him tilt its head, and you can see his waist bends slightly in almost a respectful nod before he continues. It looks like he walks, but his speed changes despite the way his legs move don't match up to the steps he might be taking as he moves around the room and around.
Fascinating.
But at this point, we'll move to Espen. Dear drunk Espen, you see
he's still shit-faced?
Oh, yeah.
Well, no, at this point, you're walking it off. You're just tired at this point.
Right. So, as the party kind of like comes around the corner and he sees that Brune's Brews is open, yes. He's gonna just go around and actually kind of go into the building.
As you enter the building, there's one customer who's sitting to the side. It's a sour-looking man just chugging out a drink. And Brune himself steps behind the counter, looks up. Welcome.
Hey, how's it going? Long day, huh?
You think with all the attention that the alley got, I'd have a little bit more customers, but no. What brings you here? I see you've got your establishment up and running.
Oh, I wanted to see how you were doing. I saw you in the window earlier and was hoping that I could kind of just see how you're doing.
He cocks his head a little bit at you. You and raises an eyebrow. I've had better days.
Well, I mean, you and I both saw the horrific nature that was outside that window.
Give me an insight check.
Ah, yes, what I'm good at.
Wisdom, huh?
Wisdom.
Insight.
How do you
Yeah,
always
there we
manage
go.
to roll insight?
Oh,
Hey,
shoot.
it's with
That's right.
disadvantage.
It's yeah. Would this be with disadvantage? Actually,
I'd say
you
no,
were
it's been
doing
long
dexterity
enough.
saves.
It's been
Okay.
long enough that you
Okay.
shouldn't be. So re-roll that. Lucky,
We have used the
lucky
system.
duck. Lucky lizard.
Oh,
good. I want it to be low anyway.
Okay. Inscrutable,
fail.
as he says. It's amazing that the ruffians of this city think they can get away with things like they do. We all pay our taxes. We all pay for these these guards, the town watch, city watch. That's it, the city watch. We pay for them, but do they do their jobs? Clearly not. Explosions in the middle of the street, in front of our establishments. Shouldn't we be? Shouldn't the city provide compensation for what loss of business this might cause? But it's their fault that these ruffians got away, isn't it?
I mean, they should have definitely got here a lot sooner. I'll give you that. Do you have any food? Anything I could just kind of eat while we're here? And then Esmond will just kind of put a gold on the table.
I'll get the good stuff. We got a few meats in this time. Brings out some roasted potatoes and what looks to be some roasted pork as well. All roasted. But a hearty meal. And you can, for a moment, you can see him like starting to come out with the plate, remember something, come back in, sets it before you, and you can see that the roasted meat and potato has a little bit of herb sprinkled on top. As he sets it down in front of you, pulls a stout, sets it in front of you, gets his own, looks out the
Thanks.
window as he stands. I assume you're sitting at the bar as he stands looking. But he's headed into shite, isn't it?
I didn't quite catch that. I kind of like was like,
Yeah.
there's some audio fuck up there.
The city's headed to shite, isn't it? These guilds just Banstar and Daves and Param seem to run the place.
Well, I can't say that I trust the guard to be able to get this whole thing taken care of. So I was trying to think. So, did you see anything out there that day, today? Anything weird?
Anything weird? Well,
Beyond obviously the explosion.
give me a persuasion check.
Come on, you have to be good at this.
With the work that you've been putting in, you can roll at an advantage.
Oh my god. The
All right, I'll
beauties
switch
of
it to
not
you.
coming to the inn with Handsome. There it is.
With a 24, that is very good. He kind of gives you a curt nod. I didn't see much, but as much as I trash on the guard, I've got a few buddies in there. Sips his drink, and I was curious myself. But seems what they found out. He leans in closer. He speaks a little bit quieter. You know that gnome, the dead one?
Yeah.
My buddy says that he was running. He was running from a group of 3, but only 2 of the 3 were killed in the explosion. As someone at large, they say.
Right. So they're saying that 2 of the 3 were killed. So what happened to the last one?
Well, my buddy didn't quite know. They're on the lookout for him.
Right. Now, I did hear rumor that there was someone that survived the explosion, grabbed something from someone, and then ran off. You didn't happen to see that at all, did you?
No, I didn't see that. Looks like what I got was something you already knew then.
Well, a little bit, but knowing that they were running was different from what we knew. So that's at least something. I do appreciate that.
I'm trying hard not to like it. I'm trying hard to not like you, lad. They're making it real difficult.
You don't have to not like us. We could probably work together, you know.
A bit of an idealist. We're business competitors.
I've learned in my time that there's 2 ways to go around life. You can try to make it for yourself, or you can try to make it for everybody around you. And from my experience, working with others usually is good for the better of everyone.
You didn't grow up around here, did you?
I grew up around, not from here, no.
You didn't grow up around folks with money. They're the worst of the lot.
Can't say I'm too surprised. You get to shut in from a lot of the world when you have a lot of money.
And those with too much money can do too much of the world.
Unfortunately, that's the way of things.
I'll come talk to you if I find anything else out.
I appreciate it, one way or another, but just look out for yourself. There needs to be... There's a lot of things going on here right now. Just don't put yourself out too far. You know what I mean?
Give me one more insight check. Great.
It's like, oh, yeah. I'll put myself back to normal so I don't make a mistake there.
Oh no, man!
And what was that number?
3.
Okay. Nods his head. I'll do what I can. You take care of yourself, lad.
Right. And hopefully we can bring in more people, and we can probably discuss a little bit about how we can probably make things work between our establishments at some point. Again, doesn't have to be too competitive, if you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Maybe one day. For now, get yourself up and running. That's the hardest part.
Well, that's what I'm good at. Is at least getting going.
Good. Very good.
And with that, Esmond going to kind of like quietly continue eating and finishing off his drink before he leaves.
Yeah. We'll move back to the Trollskull Manor. Well,
How is the scrambled egg?
oh, why is it crumbling again? Dang nabbit, man.
Oh?
Rumbling?
Was my voice crumbling?
No.
How
I
is
thought
the
you were-
scrambled eggs?
The scrambled eggs are scrambling, that's right.
The
Now
one
back
thing
into
that
school
Esmond has taught them while drinking.
There's scrambled eggs and ale. Ia, when you are in, well, actually, this is going to be Kia and Grim.
Segregation at its finest.
At its finest, no, but this is actually for you both, and we'll get each of your reactions. Where would you two be? Like, how would you be set up in the room? Like, I assume you'd be sitting at the same table as Volker, but how else would you be spending this evening in the inn?
Grim would be attuning to the ring again.
Gotcha.
I mean, that's part of the. You can take it as you can attune to your stuff at the end of a long rest, so it's not a thing that you have to actively be doing.
Well, there's not specifically anything else that I think Grim would be doing at the moment.
I see. All right.
There are currently patrons at the inn, right? Like our
Yes,
Troll
there
Skull?
are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kia would be down there interacting with them and just talking to them just to kind of get to know them and hopefully to establish regulars. But also she just has this kind of desire to maybe collect or gain more information about anything that they might know about the explosion or any like suspicious people around or like anything that they might see or know. And be drinking
Sounds
tea with
good.
them, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, so with that, as you are interacting with these customers, and like it's a lot of these folks, a couple of them, there's like this pair of half-elf craft brewers themselves who like make it is their goal to experience every tavern in the city. The types of guys who travel to cities just to try the different taverns. Definitely too much money in their
Oh,
hands.
those people.
Oh, this is. I've got to say, this is fantastic, and you can tell they hate it. And like that sort of vibe. And there's also like this family who decided to. It's their night out to spend. Is like this little halfling family with their child who every week they go out to a different restaurant they're trying out. They live just down the street, and you get to interact with a couple of them. But a part of the way through the evening, another individual enters into the tavern, and Kia, you would recognize this individual. Kia and Grim, you would recognize this individual. Kia, you recognize this individual as the man who you helped, who you healed, and told to live better. This convicted murderer. Grim, you see a convicted murderer step into the tavern.
Would I know him by sight?
You'd probably have to like check. You'd probably have like a bingo book, but you'd have to check an artwork face, but this is you recognize. You're like, oh, wait
You're
a
running
sec,
his
I
plates.
recognize. You're running his plates, basically. And he enters. He enters the tavern. Kind of looks around. He's got
Welcome
his
to the
hands in his
pain
pockets.
zone.
A little. His shoulders are a little bit bowed.
Does this fall under gauntlet jurisdiction or town watch jurisdiction?
Yes, I
This-
think.
Technically, the town watch are the ultimate ones. Obviously, as you said, Order of the Gauntlet it's a knightly order. You would have authority in this place if you chose to take it.
The Watcher's Watch.
Aw, goodness. What to do? Can I look up what he's wanted for exactly? Like, what are the kind of charges he has against him?
Multiple
little
murder
picture book.
charges.
Murder.
He is a murderer.
You're making it easy for Mr. Lowman.
Grimwood, what would he do? Do I have any spells prepared here?
Well, do you think that you would hesitate?
No, probably not.
So you would act pretty immediately?
Oh yeah, no. If he rolls in, I would wait until he sat down. So like, you know, if he like walks in the door and then like a freaking Goliath just like charges at him, he'd probably leave. I don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
I want him to sit down. And once he's sitting down, I would go over to his table, basically flash him the badge and be like, I highly recommend you come with me quietly.
Yeah. Okay. In that case, yeah, Kia, would you do anything when you see him?
Kia would immediately take notice as well, because this is probably he was probably one of the first like big dilemmas that she had come across in her journey, and
Yes.
so like it's kind of seared into her. She would probably grab a mug of tea, and bring
Love it.
kind of just subtly bring a mug over and set it down in front of him, making sure that he notices that it's her who sets it down.
Are you wearing a mask?
Yes.
Okay. So, as like he steps in and he looks around, looking not quite sure where to sit, and so you come forward and bring this steaming mug, and he looks at you. I thought I would find you here. I wanted to say thank you. Thank you. I didn't deserve this chance that you gave me. I didn't deserve. He kind of he goes to reach for the mug, then like thinks second, looks at you. It goes to say something, stops.
It's not poisoned, if that's what you're thinking.
Well, I'm wanted here. I'm trying to avoid attention. I'm going to leave, but I wanted to express my gratitude. And I wanted to leave something as thanks for what you did. And he sets down a little package. crudely wrapped in what looks to be um, like dried seaweed paper, um, very cheap stuff, and it stinks a little bit, but very crudely wrapped. As he says, "You saved my life when you shouldn't have, and I won't forget that. I'm gonna do good. I just can't do good here."
Tap, tap, tap shoulder.
You tap his shoulder. This is a human man.
I'm not there. I mean, just, Grim.
Grim, does your actions change when you see Kia interacting with him?
Oh. I would instead of immediately arresting him, Grim would go over and ask Kia who her friend is, because Grim wants to know what her involvement with a known wanted murderer is.
Oh, it's plain
Yeah, I
dumb.
need a double life.
Grim, do you carry the memorabilia of the watch on you?
I think, let's see, if I recall, my sword is engraved, but that should be sheathed, and
Yep.
I think
Is
it's a brooch. I have a brooch that is a
Yes.
gauntlet.
Oh.
Order of the Gauntlet thing, I think. Doesn't have a
Yes.
description. Oh, no,
That
Holy
would make
Symbol of
sense.
Helm is a... Well, no, that's a symbol of Helm.
Yeah, I was
I'm
gonna
not
say,
sure.
is Helm does Helm
You
count
basically have,
as
like,
a deity?
I think I have an amulet of the Gauntlet.
Yes.
I think that's... So, he would be wearing it, but it would not be, like, the top layer. It'd be worn probably underneath, whatever... I think I'm wearing plate mail, right? Am I wearing plate mail?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be like...
half-plate or
It
something.
would be underneath layers of armor and clothing. It wouldn't be worn on the outside because just it's something to get caught as,
Yeah.
Asking for trouble.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So you step up and you ask, yeah, who's your friend?
Kia kind of looks up at Grim. Is Grim's face showing any kind of like obvious suspicion or like intent to go after this man?
Is
Is
it a
that
question
a-
for
that was-
is it a question for me? Or
I
is
think
that
it was a question for you. Was like, what do you look like?
I would say no, Grim wouldn't, or would try to not appear overly concerned.
I guess that's a deception, maybe?
Do I need to roll a deception check for this?
I would say that if you're trying to hide your intentions, that is a deception check. And Kia, go ahead and roll an insight check.
Big money.
13.
Oh,
19.
Damn.
I don't have any importance to will into existence to stir shit.
So in that case, Kia, you guys have been working together for a couple of weeks now, and so with Grim, he comes up and you can see he's trying to be reserved, act nonchalant, but it's coming across like an undercover cop. He's got the boots, he's got the jeans, he's got the tucked in shirt. The he can't hide the copness to him, and you can see that he's got a little bit of I mean, I don't know. Like Grim, I wouldn't necessarily say that you've got high aggression. And you are suspicious, but you're. I don't like. How would you describe what she sees?
Uh, he's tuned. He's ready to go. He's ready to go. Like if this guy bolts, he's grabbing him and bringing him
He's
down.
like about to be playing ready or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of wired.
Yeah, Kia notices this and kind of puts 2 and 2 together, knowing that this is a
Make a roll an intelligence check to put 2 and 2 together.
yeah. I think that's all my brain power for today. And she kind of looks over at this man. Does he have a name? Did we ever get his name, or is he just still to me the
You
assassin?
didn't get his name. Okay, I guess
I know
he's
his
a
name
well-known.
though, or I should.
Yes.
I should
Grim
know
knows
his
his name. Yes. Grim knows his name. Kia, he was dying. You didn't get his name. You were literally an angel of mercy to him.
So Kia kind of looks over at him and goes, "This here?" She kind of hesitates because she doesn't know his name. As a man on a path to right his past wrongs. He's
Very nice.
a man who seeks to do good and is making a few final stops before he sets off on that journey. She kind of just, I don't know, pats him on the back.
He looks a little sheepish. I
name.
I won't. I'm not staying long. I just you saved my life, and it didn't deserve to be saved.
What's his name?
Henry.
What was that?
Henry.
Sorry.
Henry
Henry Kissinger?
Swashstickler.
Sorry,
Henry
Henry Wash what?
Swashstickler. Swashstickler. Yes, I made up that name off the spot, and it's funny. So. Henry Swashstickler.
Henry Testicle.
Henry Swashstickler.
Yes.
Not Henry Swastika, not to be confused.
That would be.
Is this guy just known kind of everywhere for his misdeeds, or just in he's just wanted in Waterdeep, or is he wanted like all over the place?
Right now, as he's a locally known, he's not on like the top 10 wanted list. He is wanted for a homicide. As for the details, you don't know the details. You just have the bingo chart. You have the hey guys, that sort of deal. So as for the details of what happened, you don't know. But he is on the wanted chart in Waterdeep specifically.
And so Kia said that, or he had died, or he's basically dead, and Kia saved his life, and it did not deserve to be saved, and he's starting on a new path.
Yes.
Grim would stick a hand on his shoulder, like tightly so that this guy can't run, and he would look at him and he would say, well, Henry, it sounds to me like the sentence for your crimes has been served. I suggest not coming back, otherwise I won't let you off this easily.
Give me an intimidation check at advantage.
Yes. Oh my gosh, they're both terrible.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh, no.
Do I have anything I can add to this?
I wish I was there.
Where is intimidation? Intimidation, even. Well, okay, it's a 10. That's not awful. Considering I rolled a 5, that's.
I mean, considering you rolled 5, yeah, no, a 10, which is like
That's average.
It's average. That is average. And so, and to be fair, for him, this is a guy you just said his name. He's never met you before. You're flashing your badge.
No, I'm not. I'm not flashing. I'm not flashing the
flashing it.
badge.
You're not
see the
flashing the
badge.
badge. He didn't see the badge. Okay, so but
All
you
he
are,
needs to know is that I know exactly who he is. I know what he's wanted for. And at this moment, he currently is not moving.
that is very true. And so he looks up at you, and you can see he shrinks under your hand a bit. He says, "Hey, I'll come right up this city. You won't see me again." But he looks over at Kia. But you, I'm gonna go north. I'm gonna go to Neverwinter. Not Neverwinter. That is a city, right? Do I know my lore right?
There is a
I know
city
that
called Neverwinter, but
Yes.
I believe it is further north, but I don't really remember my
It is.
Sword
It is
Coast.
on the high road between Waterdeep and somewhere else. Luskin, I think. So yes, that's right. I'm gonna go to
Excellent.
Neverwinter. And well, just know that you've got a friend there. He bows his head and dips away.
No, he gets held there for another
Yeah, he tries
second or
to
two
away.
before I let him go.
After he leaves, Kia kind of looks over at Grim and just quietly goes, "Thank you," and then clears the mugs off the table and walks away. Also, you said he drops a bag on the table. I
Yes.
didn't take that note, and then I totally forgot. Okay, I also grab the bag as I walk away.
Okay.
What's in the bag?
That's a good question. Grim, are you going to do anything, or am I going to go hide in a corner and peek in the bag?
Oh my god, CJ, a bomb.
I found the source of the mysterious ticking noise. It's a pipe bomb. Grim would watch him out the door. And when he goes out the door, Grim would go get a beer.
A job well done.
Put his feet up. My man is enforcing some kind of law.
For tables!
Yes,
Don't
you
make Grim
enforcing the law.
learn woodworking. He's already trying to learn brewing. I don't need another hobby to learn.
Big ass heavy man legs on a table.
In a Kia, in the bag, which has a little bit of a heft to it, you see a well-worn leather satchel. A bag in a bag.
Is there anything inside the bag? Inside the bag? She
Oh,
opens it
Another
up to
absolutely.
bag.
double check.
You
The
open it,
satchel.
and inside you can see it is filled with various herbal poultices, bandages, and basic medical supplies. This is a healer's kit.
Oh. Oh, that's pretty nice. How many charges?
And it charges full charges. So I don't know how many charges there are on the full charges.
Yeah, just kind of
10 charges, that's it.
looks down at the kit and is quite grateful. Also kind of there's a sense of what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of in the back of her mind from that moment on, there had been some kind of doubt whether or not she had done the correct thing, and this kind of gives her that reassurance from that moment. And so she kind of tucks the bag away and just kind of smiles.
Esben, I don't know when you were planning on
I mean,
coming back, but you say that now.
whenever's most convenient. Yeah.
Yeah. So at this point, Esben returns. You are well fed with a pretty solid meal. It's not scrambled eggs. So, not scrambled eggs. And so the rest of the evening goes well. You guys head to rest and plan for the next day. Henzim at some point does come back, and he's grumbling, talking about just lousy parents and stupid rabble rousers and whatnot. But you guys can go ahead and take a long rest. And welcome the 19th day. Not the 19th day, this is the 19th session. No, 18th session. The 14th day of Marpanoth.
A holiday or something?
The 14th day of Marpanoth. Actually, let me see if there is a... I've got my notes. Marpanoth. No, however, tomorrow is known as God's Day. The 15th day of Marpanoth commemorates the anniversary of the end of the time of troubles in the Year of Shadows. And it is considered a solemn and serious event, especially at night, where Waterdeebians offer prayers in the city's temples to thank the gods for their lives and remembrance in the catastrophic events in the time of troubles. So, and this is particularly special to followers of Mistra. But that's tomorrow. So today is the 14th. And you guys wake up bright and early and ready to start your day. I believe that we have a Griffin rider, Griffin, to procure.
That would be
Yeah, very many things to do.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that I think people want to do today.
Sure. Let's go ahead and start. Just give me just a quick, hey, this is what I want to do, starting off with Esmond.
Okay, so there's going to be quite a few things he's going to be wanting to do. Okay. He's going to want to talk to basically everyone in this vicinity that he knows. So, like, goes to Corellan's Crown, the Bent Nail, Steam and Steel, and just kind of like try to get any information he can about the person that did survive and went back down this alleyway. Since he knows that they didn't leave the sewer access, that means that they have to have gone up this direction. So he would definitely be talking to them, and as well as trying to like look around to see if you can find any evidence of anything that happened in this area.
Sure. Okay. So that is Espen. Grim, what would be your direction?
Did Grim mention to the party that he might know a guy? Last.
Mhm.
Okay. Grim would hmm.
I do have a thing that
Grim
I could
would-
be doing with you, Grim.
Grim would go talk to the Griffin. Well, Grim would go try and find hang on, hold please. Savanta Savra Bellabranta.
Okay.
And
you would know where to find her.
And Grim would also like to go talk to the Gauntlet as well. He is kind of bothered by the treatment he sees of Nim, and he understands that Nim is an automaton and might not be viewed as sentient by most people. However, from what Grim saw, Grim is very sure that this is a sentient being, and he is being held for crimes that he did not commit, being held against his will, and whether or not he wants to stay in the temple, Grim thinks that there is something wrong with how he is being treated, and he wants to bring it to the Gauntlet's attention because he feels that it's important enough to bring to their attention, and then whether or not they decide to do anything about it, he will go from there, I guess.
Help him being held captive.
Okay. So you would. So is it your desire to address the automaton issue first, or the griffin issue first?
I will address the Griffin issue first. What I will do.
Okay, sounds good. In that case, Kia.
There we go. Kia would not. Kia would probably go out and ask if there'd been any sightings of this automaton or odd mechanical figures. She doesn't really have necessarily a set path that she desires to go on. She just is going to go start gathering information.
No worries. No worries. Volker, what would you do?
It all depends on one thing. Mr. Morgoth, I would be interested in. I guess I would have to accompany you to your Griffin and or deal with Ton, but or maybe we can meet at a later point in the day. But I was interested to see if we could go towards the I do not know in which district would it been, but see if we could, check the bodies and see if we could, that have been gentle. Gentle. I forgot the word for the spell. Gentle. That they're preserved, and see if we could, get a priest to facilitate speaking with the dead with.
Would I don't know that I have the authority. Actually, this is a question for you. Mr. DM. Would I have the authority to do that? It seems to me like Grim is kinda like I have standing.
You're a holy
with
man.
I have standing with the Town Watch,
Yeah.
but I don't have. I don't have the ability to kind of go in and do whatever I want with impunity as far as that goes.
Definitely not. That being said, this is very much within your purview. It's not necessarily something that you could order, but you do have connections to clerics who, upon with more information gathering, you'd realize they will cast Speak with Dead for you as long as you donate the cost of the spell to
Quite
the
reasonable.
cost 25 dragons to their temple. Now, in order for this to happen, you have to provide me with your 5 questions already written.
I would be interested in asking both the gnome and one of the two. What's the word? It's 5 questions. I thought it was 3. Holy shit. The one of the cloaked figures, either or, and I'm willing to shoulder the money if that were to be the case.
Okay.
I will have to think of the other 2 questions though. Besides that, which is doesn't have a like if he wants to do what's this word, like the Griffin and Ton thing first, obviously he can do that. I myself would be interested to see I have some stuff to ask to our rat friends.
Get some stuff to ask. Okay. So, you would,
and I'll play from there.
Yeah. Okay. So you'd be the rat friends, and then onward. Okay. So in that case, yeah, I guess rat friends would happen first for everybody. So, start. You talk to your rat friends.
As I greet them as they come by for their shift, which one would be like the leader or like the spokesperson? The one that approached me?
It would be the one that approached you, yes. And you would know that his name is Elso. Yes, Kelsto.
Anywho, as they pass by, I signal for them to have a talk. And
he steps up to you.
I lead them towards, like, I guess, like, like the, the back part, like the back place with like, how do I explain it? The back place of where, the drinks are served and such before they're, brought to the tables.
Yes.
And while I do not wish to pry upon your past lives, he says, I would be interested in see if I could, if you would be capable of providing, obviously I will pay for it if need be, if you could provide a set of thieves' tools. I feel like, I feel like,
to say that.
I feel like you will eventually come to a place where I'll require to utilize some, and I am to know that they are not a thing that you can just buy at a store.
He kind of uses the towel he's got around his belt.
I would have been
dra-
speaking that in obviously in half in I guess it's half what's the word?
the half-end language.
Halfling, I guess.
Yeah. He kind of dries his hands off a little bit as he says, "I've got a few bodies that I'm work with. You got the money for it?"
Yeah, could be arranged to your next payment.
Well, then I could probably arrange to get that to you. I don't got a lot of extra cash on me, so I'm gonna have to wait until we get that money then. But
I presume that you all do not accept shards as a matter of payment. Shard shunners, after all.
yeah, funny one there, mate. Nah,
That
it's just
does
it's just the name we got.
Oh. I know that it affects the Lycan folk, but does it affect you too? Or it's just, like you said, a name for your group?
No, it does affect us. But that's what these are for. Listen at these gloves.
Ah. Smart. Well, I'll be up to it. And he gives you like a knowing nod.
He clasps her hand and says, "Aye, I'll wait until we get that installment, then we're all set."
So it's we have a 10-day period for pay, right? Or how did it work? Is it a week basis?
I think it's a 10-day period for them, yes. A lot of things tend to be 10 days.
Right, so at least 8 days from now. Good. I think they'll be hired for 2 days already.
Yep.
Right. After that, you can hop to somebody else while I devise more plans.
Yeah, absolutely. So, next up, Esmond, you were going around to the neighbors, and you know what? Like, I guess, Kia, you said you were just going to ask around about the automaton. Something that you would know is that you guys do have the machine that'll just ding when it's nearby. And so...
Is that shit dinging?
No.
I think I'm holding onto it, but obviously if you two are, going around, I can lend it. I also should roll my 2d20s.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
No, yeah, that'd be a good idea for sure.
As you peer into the cards and discern the future, the fate at which you may pluck its strings.
Wow! Disaster! Oh my god!
What numbers do we have?
A 1 and a 2.
And a 2.
Oh, I am terrified. All right.
The question is, who should be terrified? Should it be you or should it be one of us?
Well, you know what? At this rate, one of you. You specifically, Esmond. Just you.
Probably.
Oh, Esmond's terrible day.
Yep. You got it. Okay. So you do this. Esmond, you end up talking around. Go ahead and just give me, as you look for information, give me a luck check.
A luck check.
A luck check.
How does one roll a luck check?
This is what you're going to do. You're going to roll a d20, and before you roll that d20, choose low or high.
Always high.
You have to roll better than a 6, and you're only rolling a d6.
Funny about that, I ran a game, it was a short game, and one of the players for the entirety of a boss battle, for up until, like, okay, not the entirety, 2/3 of the boss battle, he was using an online dice roller, and he had refreshed the page and didn't notice that he was rolling d6s the whole time.
Oh no.
Oh
Yeah.
no!
Didn't roll higher than a 6. It was beautiful. They died. All right, continue.
I guess we're rolling for a new character.
That's right.
All right, I'm gonna take the suggestion of rolling high. So let's roll high.
Okay.
11 is technically high.
11 is a high. Now give me a persuasion check.
Okay, persuasion. Let me make sure I'm on normal. I am good. Oh, there we go.
You persuasive.
You like the number, huh? 24, huh?
Yeah, so you like the number 24.
As your number. You ask around and you spend the whole morning asking at Krell's Crown, Froon's Brew, Bent Nail. You even go to the PI, but as you ask,
Hell yeah, brother.
and you knock on the door, he says, "Are you looking to hire me?" You're like, "I'm just asking you what you saw." And he says, "If you're not looking to hire new info," and shuts the door.
What a guy.
Okay, I hope your place doesn't blow up then.
Oh no.
And so, with that being said, for the one who escaped in your neighborhood, you don't get any more information. But what you do pick up is that some other folks who had interacted with the city watch, they know more information about what happened has come forth, which is the gnome and his pursuers are moving toward the tavern in Troll Skull Alley, which turns out to be your guys' tavern for some reason, and the city watch has concluded that neither the gnome nor the pursuers foresaw the explosion happening.
So the explosion was something else?
A third
The
party.
fireball.
Right, right.
Neither of them, neither party knew that the fireball was going to be set off.
Why do I feel like we're playing a game of Clue?
We are. We're missing the fucking pieces, but they don't have names.
It was Henzem in the library with a candlestick.
That's right.
That's correct.
Okay, and they were running towards the manor, correct?
They're heading towards the manor, yes. That's what the town guard thinks. The city watch. I keep calling them the town guard for some reason. I don't know why.
The guards will be the ones that are standing by the city walls.
Yes.
The watch is the watch. The guard folk.
That's right. So with that, that's the morning that you spent. Rim, you sir head to the Gauntlets Guild Hall, the Gauntlets Hall.
Is that where the Griffin Riders are?
That is where Sabra Bellabranta is.
Okay.
Because she is your connection to the Griffin Riders. Like if you were going to
Sabra
be able
Bellabranta is a member of the Gauntlet.
Yes. But she is a higher level than you.
She can be the middleman that gets you to a Dragon Rider.
You do have a buddy
Rider
that you know who is a Griffin Rider, but in order to officially ride one of the Griffins, you have to go through your superior.
The red tape.
Okay.
Yep. I believe at the
Okay.
last session I mentioned that you knew a buddy, or like you had a buddy.
Yeah, I
an old
thought that
buddy or
too.
something.
I didn't make the connection that Savabella Bronto was the lady in the gauntlet. I thought that was the. I thought it was like a, hey, do you mind taking me for a quick ride in your car, kind of like under the table thing. But I
see.
suppose
Yeah,
it'd
no.
be. I suppose it'd be closer to being like, hey, do you mind taking me in a quick ride in your F-35? That's
Yeah, kind of. Because I did a little bit more reading into the Griffin Riders. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I got to be a little bit more, a little bit more official on this one. And
I mean, they're
actually,
a noble creature.
so cool looking. They're so cool. The Griffins in and of themselves are cool, and they're like, it's in Waterdeep. The Griffin Riders are a serious policing force. But like the riders themselves have such a cool armor. I'm gonna send you a.
What is the promotion path from Gauntlet to Griffin Rider? Is it like I'm working for the Marines and I should be in the Air Force, or like?
I have no idea.
I wish I wish like prestige classes were a thing in this shit.
Yes. And they've got such cool armor too. So yeah, I showed a Roll20 photo.
Yo, that's tight.
Yeah, it is. So
Where's,
yeah, you
where
go
is
to
it?
talk to Severa Bellabronta, and it should be on Roll20.
Oh, on
Yeah, it
Roll20.
popped up for
Oh,
me.
I'm
looked
scrolling
like
through
a
Discord.
Templar.
Oh, that's freaking cool. I'm scrolling through Discord trying to figure out where the frick you saved it.
Yeah, no. So that's what you see. Although that's the Griffin Riders that you guys see, but you go to talk to Severa, and let's think. What else do you? What else?
I
dost
would-
thou say? Yes.
I'd kind of give her the whole rundown of what's going on and what we've come across, because she's also the person I would want to bring the Nim's situation up to as well. So I would run her back through the attack, the fireball, where that led us.
You're recapping her. The
I'm
last
just gonna
session
give her
recap.
I'm gonna give her the recap.
Mhm.
Because I want to see if I can maybe get a Griffin Rider to give me and possibly somebody else a ride around the city to try and locate a suspect. And I also want to
Sus.
communicate to her that there is an automaton, but in fact a sentient automaton, not just a mindless obeyer who is currently more or less imprisoned, more or less against his will.
They don't have a soul.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, that's what I would do. I'd kind of give her the recap and the situation that we find ourselves in.
She's gonna as she looks at you with the Griffin Rider thing, she's like, I could probably do something about the Griffin Rider situation. You wouldn't be able to ride any of the official beasts, but I think there might be one in training that you could. It's scheduled for a training flight around that you could join in on. But as for the automaton issue, you think that a robot has sentience? Well, first off, they're made by mortal kind. Mortal kind doesn't imbue sentience. Have you considered that fact?
We don't know what Nim's origins are, though, do we?
I came from that island of artificers.
Gnomes also don't have a soul.
I would say I have considered that. I have considered that things made by mortals do not, under most circumstances, have sentience. They typically just obey orders they are given. Nim is different. Nim was, at least according to him, able to create another automaton similar to himself without orders, in fact, disobeying orders, which suggests that not only is he, I guess he wasn't disobeying orders. He was able to create another automaton like himself that's able to function without orders or commands or a controller of any kind, and the ability to create another being strikes me as being an important part of sentience, I guess, if that makes sense.
So, from what you've told me, this automaton created a second automaton that, if I have the information correctly, caused a fireball explosion in a city up in the North Ward. And you're using this as testament to its sentience?
I would point out that the automaton is merely a suspect in the investigation. I would say that the evidence of sentience goes to the creation of another being, also with apparently some form of sentience as well. Whether or not that being is misguided is beside the point.
I can't say that I know that we have any jurisdiction in this matter. I mean, you say that it belongs to the Temple of the Inspired Hands and the acolytes therein. Have you tried convincing them of its sentience that you point out?
We did do that, didn't we? We had mentioned it to them, and attempted to allow them to let Nim help us with our investigation, and they declined and doubled down on their restrictions that they impose upon his freedom.
Well, from what I understand, Grim, automatons are things. They're tools. And all the automatons that I've seen are they complete actions that are dictated towards them. They just like any other nifty artifice, and I wouldn't even go nearly as far to understand how would they make these happen. Now, I'm not trying to say I don't believe you, but what I'm trying to say is that legally, they're property. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you, Greg?
Yes. Yes, I do.
I don't think I can do anything to help. They are property in the eyes of the law. And under the law... damage can be paid for. It's considered theft if they're stolen, but someone can do with an automaton what they will, no matter how much they resemble a living thing. Now, I can't tell you what to do with that information. So, unless I don't know what more I can do to help. But what I can do is provide that griffin ride for you. Now, I do know of a young griffin set to fly the circuit today. Now, you said that you wanted to bring a friend along. We can set that up for you.
I'm only a small creature. I don't weigh anything.
How much? I'm here alone, right?
Yes.
I'm not with you.
Oh, you were here, Volker?
I'm not with him.
Okay. Yes, you're alone.
I'm just wondering what I'm trying to think it through is if there's any advantage to Grim going alone on the Griffin, because he would have to locate this automaton, and if he could, he would then need to communicate to the crew where the automaton is, and even then it only lasts for, as long as the automaton chooses to stay in that place.
You'd probably want to get somebody who's pretty perceptive.
Somebody has to ride the Griffon while the other one keeps a look. You need a shotgun, I think.
Yeah, I would see about bringing Volker along with me, probably.
Or Kia.
Okay. Volker or Kia?
Oh,
If
actually,
she so desires.
hang on. I would bring Kia. She's yelling at me that she has a good perception score.
Yeah, she has a +5. I only have a +3. She has a +5.
Yeah.
Well done, Kia. You yelled at them. All right. So, yes, you locate Kia. I'm just going to say that you do because it's not fun to go run around the city trying to find someone. And you are brought to the Griffin stables. And as it happens, the young griffin named Bone Snapper is being trained to serve as a mount in the Griffin
no.
cavalry. And it is arranged that you meet the Griffin and its trainer outside the river gate. And so,
Question, Mr. DM.
yes.
Do the Griffons have, the pitbull naming convention that if your pitbull is named like Buttercup, it will eat a child, but if it's like, Bonebreaker, it's just like a sweetheart?
No.
Fuck.
What gate did you say?
What gate? River Gate.
Okay.
Boom. Outside the trade ward. And so you and Kia meet at the outside river gate. And you can see the young trainer, this tall elven man. He's a high elven man with that gleaming armor. Although he's not wearing his helmet, but he's got the gleaming armor, and he's got the reins to this clearly young griffin, but still massive, as it looks down at you with its beak and piercing eyes. It raises its feathers slightly as you two approach, ruffling its wings as the rider calls out, "Ah, it isn't one of the members of the Gauntlet coming to test his mettle in the skies?"
Well, that is correct, sir. I need
And
the speed and the view that your Griffin can hopefully offer me.
Well, hopefully you have the eyes for it, but also the... Oh, well, I'm going to put it straight. Bone Snapper here doesn't just let anyone onto his back. He's going to have to take a liking to you. And trust me, if he doesn't take a liking to you, you will not be joining him on his back. Now, each of you come up separately, don't overwhelm him at a time, but let's see how you take to him. I'm going to need you both to roll me some animal handling checks.
Uh-oh. Hopefully the DC is not too high.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's not good.
Animal handling. Oh, that's actually not a terrible score.
Kia, you do have an inspiration to use.
17.
Or using that.
Hey, hell yeah, man.
There we go.
Yeah.
Thank goodness. With a DC of 16.
Oh
separately,
shit!
you each hold up, do the How to Train Your Dragon hand up to the snout, and Bone Snapper slowly touches your hand and allows you to hop into the saddle as it ruffles its wings, and the rider, the griffin's able to hold all three of you, and the rider hops into the saddle and says, "All right, so we're going to be doing a circuit, but we will be passing by each of the dark wards, each of the wards in this flight. So I hope you see what you're looking for. Now, everyone, hold on tight." Whips the reins, and the griffin leaps into the air, massive wings beating, lifting you higher and higher and higher. Immediately, the temperature begins to drop as you ascend higher than either of you have ever been. Not on a mountain, and you see the city descending before you. Yes.
Grim would let him know that we want to stay low and like kind of nap at the earth, because we have a radius on this thing, right? As my
500.
understanding.
Yes.
Yeah.
500,
So we have a
yes.
500-foot radius. So Grim would have let him know that we want to kind of stay low and tight
Enough.
if possible,
Hold on.
as possible.
As he tilts the griffin forward, the wings tuck, and you guys enter into a dive. And
You better be swapping the music to How to Train Your Dragon.
all right, let me get that. Hold on a second. Thank you for the recommendation.
Test drive.
Well, let's do that.
Does a griffin
There we
have
go.
a red wing by any chance?
A red wing? I don't know. Uh, all right, let's see. I don't know. I'm just gonna.
Slap it in chat.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay, so the griffin enters in. No, like it's enters into this dive. You can feel the air rushing past your guys' ears, and honestly, the one who's probably best out of the lot of you is Kia with her mask on. But the griffin begins to approach the earth at blinding speed before quickly lifting its wings out in sudden stop as each of you push into each other against the griffin rider's back, who doesn't appear to move very much. He's quite skilled at this, but he begins to fly around the city. The sun is shining. It is a clear day. The air is chilly in this fall weather, but it is beautiful. As you fly about the city, you have the locator in hand. One of you has it on hand. Yeah, I'm going to need a perception check from you.
This is a lot of pressure.
I mean, you have the high ground. Could it be advantage?
Well,
You do. This
I
would be
assist?
advantage from the high ground. Yes,
Okay.
you can assist.
I have the high
Well,
ground.
if she already has advantage, it doesn't really matter. But
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you yourself can also roll perception, if that's the case. Hey, that's better.
Much better. Yes. With a 19, you are passing over the dock ward, and the Nimblewright detector starts to whir.
can you give us a map of the city?
Yes. I realized that you guys were on the city. There you go. As you pass by some of the ships in port, the tool in your hand begins to whir in a way that it hasn't yet, indicating that you are nearby another automaton. And you tap on the rider to say, "Hey, like, circle over here. I need to take a closer look." And the griffin begins to circle around this area. And as it does, Kia, you, with your high perception check, you see that with circling and listening to the whirring, you can see the location of this Nimblewright is around the ship, the Sea Maiden's Fair. And we will go ahead and it's late. I've pushed you guys 15 minutes extra. End our session there.
Wow, what?
Hey.
Oh yeah, it's daylight savings. Guys, like, oh yeah, there's an hour to go still.
Yeah. That's that.